Okay, here we go. Hello everybody. Good evening. Mr. Dove is in the place. Good to see you. Sorry for the music. Odin is here. Hasta la vista. Modi Piluri. Alexander. Great. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining in. So, a bit of erratic price action on Bitcoin this week, right? This is the least. Mike P is here as well. Nice, hello. So, yeah, you know, last week, I think we were about here at the high, right? No, we were still rising here last Friday. And, yeah, that's okay. Oh, I had been a long week. So, you know, last week I shared a projection on the count and it played just perfectly to the tick, right? You know, if we take just length of wave 1, project it from wave 2, we got the 1618 extension perfectly here for the 3, and then we reach the 5th wave. Well, we didn't took the much upper 34k liquidity, but that was rather a low time frame one. You know, we took the main one at 33,600, right? So that was a target to finish an impulse and get a retracement, which we got, right? Now, yeah, not the simplest, yeah, price action to trade here, but was kind of expectable. In fact, that's what I talked about on Tuesday during the cruise stream. I say, yeah, well, I think we have our top. That was Tuesday, right? Yeah. We need confirmation, but things might get, yeah, a lot overlapping. Not necessarily have a simple structure, because if we look for a simple structure, you look for 5 down, an A, a B, and a C. As simple as that. As simple as the upside, right? But yeah, that's not what we got, and it was expectable. It was expectable for the reason that we went out of fear of capitulation here, change the market structure, and a very clear and simple price here for the count at least. And you know, you reach that point here where the people that capitulated start to feel the FOMO. So the more you go up, the more you feel the FOMO. So the more you're inclined to see rug both sides, right? Because it brings back liquidity as sentiment is flipping back and forth. So yeah, that kind of led to very aggressive move both sides. And yeah, liquidity is being played. We made one major thing this week as we closed the mount above yearly open. So you know, that was a goal as well. That was one of the reasons among many for me to be bullish down there. Say, yeah, we're gonna be aiming towards this yearly level for monthly close most likely. And as we go above, we might see it, yeah, act as some kind of magnet. But it is an important point to say, because, yeah, you know, I talked about it a few times, but for me, it's going to be important to see both the January and February close, to see if they can close above the yearly open, to kind of help on the buyers for the rest of the year. It's not perfect data, it's a young asset, but yeah, you know, if the 2 months, if both first month is close above yearly open, it increases a lot the probabilities that we will keep on an uptrending year. So the first month is down. Now we into February, so we can have a lot more exciting rugs both sides and see if we can close again February above it. Yeah, and we're gonna review the higher time frame count. For now, I'm looking at the 1 hour because we had a move here. So yeah, now we're projecting a bit. I think we'll go higher. You know, I've been pretty spot on most of the week here. I'm managed. I don't know if everybody in the crew managed to as well or without the crew. But yeah, managed to catch long here and not at the low, it was one night, but here and here, main two longs, took a short here, took a short here this morning. Yeah, now the question is, where do we go? Of course. So the thing is, on the downside, we have let me take a lower time frame chart here. You know, try to approach the count here. Well, and I made one wrong count, by the way, earlier, because I didn't see that derivative took the high here. But I was looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanded diagonal, which would be working if this high didn't took that one, which didn't on spot, but it did on derivative. Nonetheless, I think we have a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Pretty aggressive corrective move that give us basically an A, B, C down, right? Also, decently clean move down. I'm not necessarily gonna do precisely the count, but yeah, we have a small 1, 2 here with 561.8 for the biggest possible extension on the 3. Perfect with 4 and a fifth, and we can read the sub count. So that's also a reason for me to price bullish at that point. One of the reasons. Now I was looking for, you know, as we have an ABC move down finish, so we have a complete correction, and I kind of feel that it is not really enough. I really like that we take this slow, so maybe we won't, you know, we have a valid corrective move, but it's a bit short in terms of time, in terms of depthness. We barely reach the 382 retracement here. 382 retracement of the move up. So, you know, it's a slight front run, so it's still valid, but in terms of time, you can see how if I pull a fifth time tool here, it's really, we didn't even spend 60% of the time of the move up to retrace it. So, you know, it's not fully mandatory, but usually you want the corrective move to be more or less the same time, right? It can be longer or shorter, but yeah, that's why I use a fib tool. If it's less than 61.8 the time of the move, it's supposed to be correcting. I kind of feel that it is not down. I'd also imply that my count is correct on the upside, but it plays so perfectly that I don't really see a reason to change it here at the moment. But you know, it's also always possible, right, that there is something slightly off. We might be, you know, maybe we made a 1, 2, and that was a 3, and that was a 4, and we are going for the 5th now, and we're going to have a bigger retrace after that. But yeah, seeing that each target retracement projection here and the sub count is so clean, I'm not really inclined to change that. I'm suggesting potentially a flat here, as we are in this kind of emotional state right now for the market. It's a bit of uncertainty especially for the smaller traders. That's kind of the perfect time to print a flat that go above the end of wave A01 here, right? A01, depending on the high degree, but it's still part of the correction, right? So we look the perfect retracement being 123 retracement of the move down, so it make it above. It's an extension effect, right? So I think that's the most sensible right now. I'm not gonna say I have very high confidence here. I don't really have had high confidence for some weeks, but since yesterday evening, things are getting a bit more blurry here for me. So, but yeah, I think there's a decent chance to play out like this. So if we take the lower time frame here, so yeah, clean enough impulse here, clean enough retracement, 50%. Yeah, nearly golden pocket in the week. Retest of yesterday daily open. Yes, that's it. So if I project, I can see that my 1-1 extension is coming into that area. Right? It's not the most perfect confluence, but it's above the high and it's just below the 123 trace. So it's in that pocket that we are looking for. Oh fuck, sorry. It's higher. I didn't update it. It's still in the territory of what can be a C wave if this is really a B. Going a bit above the one, it's okay. So I prefer when I have more tight confluence, but we deal with what we have, right? So now we have what look like an impulse again from today's low here. I think we're entering into a wave 2. Would guess might find support. It's kind of complicated here. Long already puke, so yeah, not necessarily need to go much more down. We need to let it consolidate a bit. 3250 golden pocket. We have a POC. This little order block here. We'll see. Most likely we're still in the first leg of a corrective move if this is correct. So we want to see a rise and another move, and then maybe I will compound back another long here. But that's my favorite count locally for this. And the idea would be, yeah, potentially still to come back, take this low. So again, not monetary. Maybe we do a running flat and we just find support at the yearly here. But I would not be surprised to see a bigger flush, like maybe a very quick aggressive flush. Now, so yeah, first need to continue up, print a top, a reverse, but we'll take the fib extension, and at that point, look at the 1-1 extension, 161.8, and also up or down to the 261.8 in that case. That's expanded flat. That's something Bitcoin can do, right? It would be very aggressive. You might feel I think we have some kind of gap somewhere in that area on CME, so maybe we feel that, or maybe we remain shallow. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to see what's the state of the market at that point. All I have to say right now is I think we'll go higher. I think this today low gonna remain for now, and we're gonna break this week high first. But I still think there is decent short opportunity here. So above 43.9 basically. If I'm looking at the aggregated order book here, so yeah, for some reason the app can work on that computer, so I've just screenshots and the other. Anyway, you know, we can see. Yeah, we can see clear intention of selling this area. So this is a 2% spread, 2.5. It's between the 1 and 2.5% spread. So that brings us up to 44K, where we have, you know, quite a few sales orders stacked here. We can see if it wants load. Good. On derivative as well, you know, it's quite stacked up to 45. So you know it's going higher, but there is decent size here between our current high and 44K. So I think that might be sold into. At least that's what I'm looking at for now. Let me check a bit the comment here. Hello, everybody. Up only. Maybe, yeah, we're gonna take a look at a bullish count for today as well. Is a flat considered more bullish? But not necessarily. It's neither bullish or bearish. Well, yeah, maybe slightly more bullish, because in the sense that you get your corrective move go above the top of the move is corrected. It's correcting, so it kind of shows there is demand, but in this case it's more like to trap demand. I think it's more to squeeze out short. Oh yeah, it's a decently bullish pattern in that sense. No. Thank you, Modiberia. Appreciate that. And I'm happy if I've been helpful in any way. Hello, look. Through on the Coinbase week. I don't have a lot of through on the Coinbase week. I mean, somebody market bought a lot. What can we say, right? There's 1,000 Bitcoin that have been bought up here. Is the fat finger, you know, algorithm mistake, something? Not sure on that amount here. So 1,000, it's not nothing. It's not huge. It's Coinbase, so pretty big exchange. In theory, market makers should have been keeping price in par with the rest for 1,000 Bitcoin. So I would think just some algo fucked up here, and maybe somebody just made a mistake, or 2%, you know. But it may show that's the kind of stuff, well, you know, until we take that high, for me there was still a reason to think we have an ABC down, and that could be corrective, even if this looked as an impulsive. Was kind of looking for that kind of move, right? And this is a main invalidation. Now you can consider that taken, right? If it is on a smaller exchange, I kind of tend to ignore it. Coinbase is a bit more relevant. Well, I don't really have a lot of thought about it, apart that it's, well, now it took the high anyway, so yeah. Yeah, it did made me lean to the idea that, yeah, we're gonna take that high, so I'm gonna have to flip the bias a bit more for that scenario now. that scenario where we take as well this week high. That said, we'll see, because I'm doing what I can with what I have. I'm not currently in the highest confidence, right? I'm decently confident to be a seller up here, up to 44,300 here especially. I can go a bit higher, Sometimes we put the 1618, that's kind of a bit excessive. Yeah, anyway. I'm decently confident for that. Now I think we will reach it, but I'm in between right now. A bit in between. We're still at the 1 hour resistance here, but we bounce out of support. We just need to break this, and in theory, should we claim that already had a fake out, so it should indicate the loss of this kind of bearish trend. Not really bearish, because it was made on higher high. But yeah, that's the kind of the bearish divergence that reverse the trend. So if we claim that RSI resistance, to me it bring a bit more confidence. At that point I would say, yeah, if we take the high we have right now, I will not get in front of it, right? I'm still slightly short, but I'm net long at that point now. I was net short this morning still. During that move I closed most. Well, I'm less exposed than I've been over the week. Do you think the low 38,500 is in? Okay, good question. Well, I think it's good time to flip to higher time frame IDs. So let me think, which one do I go first with? Okay, yeah, let's go with that. So, basically we're still in a range, right? We're quite in the middle of the range, in fact. With this being a big deviation and a small deviation here. We have also a very dodgy mount here. So what I'm looking at right now is rather to continue consolidate inside January price action, basically. That's my bias for this month. And I put the 50% FIB tool on the week, in fact on the weekly week here, and the monthly above under. We could put that on the weekly here as well. Yeah, pretty much. So my bias here is, here it's a bit of uncertainty. Below 40,800, down to the low, I'm a buyer, and here I'm a seller, basically. And I think we will visit these two areas. Which one first is the question. I would rather prefer that we have a big dip here, so we can go and test the previous yearly open here. What I can say about that low for now is I think it's good to hold still. For now, especially as we have an impulse up, I would like to see a clearer corrective here, but then I think we have at least another move up, right? And then we'll see. There is a few IDs. Do I have it here? Okay, that is an ID. Not necessarily wanted to show it here. So the thing next is if things continue to develop as I'm looking at them. When we complete a correction and we go for another high and we break the high or the alternative one of a flat, whatever, I'm gonna follow what this move does, right? And I'm gonna be a seller again. To the idea that we may have a move down that is just a wave A. And what we could be printing here is just a wave B. And then we could have a very deep wave C, or we may have something more shallow. I think we're gonna take that low, okay, to be clear. I just remain to be seen first. And I'm gonna show an alternative scenario where we don't. But the idea is, depending what happened in the next, especially into February, do we close above the yearly open again? Yes, in that case, let's give a bit more credit. But I think there will be still a possibility that we get a flush here into the 37, around 30, yeah, the whole 37. And we may just, sweep that low and then go. For that AD, basically it will be that we are into this. But instead of having a deep wave 2, we'll just have a shallow one, right? Retrace to, 50% or 382 on log. Wait a minute. What did I do here? I'm on log. Oh, because I'm not on log here. Yeah, 382 on log, 50% on linear. I think there's decent chance that we don't go much lower than this. Have a bit of consolidation, we dip and we continue higher into a third wave, and we start to see really back to the aggressive kind of move up that we experienced last year. Now it's also depend of stock market. I'm not gonna do in-depth analysis of stock market today, but there's still concerns, especially I think coming into March here. So if there's a very aggressive sell-off coming on stocks, well, that probably gonna pull Bitcoin down as well, and then we'll see. Do we find support here or a bit lower, or even if things are bad enough that it breaks the chart? But yeah, to answer more shortly, I think we'll take that 38, but not necessarily right now, and I think it will, if it does, it probably more be around March for the last move before we start to last piece of the correction before start to go. Now also been thinking about some alternative idea which is a lot less bullish long term. And there's probably other alternative, there's always lots of alternative with Elliott Wave. It all depends on the context of the reality of the context, right? But the idea is just to extend the count a bit more and take that move as a flat, right? Basically, we do an A, a B, and a wave C down here, because it's still good as a 5 down to me. We have the 382 retrace for that proposed third at that point. I think that's a valid idea, and that could lead us to, seeing more upside on the short term. And that would mean that whatever we are printing here locally, instead of being in some kind of ABC and we continue to consolidate, well, that would mean we are into 1, 2, and we start to go 3, 4, 5, and we to print a higher degree wave 3, because at that point we will be reaching 161.8 extension on linear, or at least, yeah, in the territory, you know. So that might lead to a bit more aggressive, take the higher, in fact, just barely just a deviation above our current high. And then get back again inside the range for wave 4. At that point, I don't think we will need to take that low, but, you know, we'll take the fib, see where we can retrace. Or it will be possible. At that point, the Elliott open, I think, should be a good support. And then we could see a final 5th wave, but in that case, yeah, that wouldn't... That would project a complete cycle here into just barely a new all-time high, and that's it. And then we reverse. And then, you know, we can continue. We have a 1, and we spend a year or 2 into some kind of bear market, not necessarily that deep, but yeah, you know, anywhere inside here into a 2, and maybe we continue, but that would, yeah, project a lot less potential upside for 2024 and 5. And I think that's a valid idea, you know. It will break clearly the kind of the character of Bitcoin so far, but we are now in a different market with different participants, so things can evolve, you know, get less upside, but also maybe less downside. That's why I said maybe not necessarily as deep wave 2, but at least with the time length of that move would have taken, that would probably mean yeah, some time, you know. Yeah, that would bring you into 2025, 26, maybe 27 of correction. At that point, you will basically just continue some kind of big double range, right? And you will make a deviation above, and you come back into here and continue. But my favorite idea at the moment is still that one. I'm starting to lean toward the potential that we don't have a deep wave 2, that we will not go to 30k, and that instead we're just gonna see consolidation inside that range, and at some point we'll sweep the low. But if that happens, if we can still float for February and we see just a sweep of the low in March, I'm probably gonna be a big buyer, you know. Of course, it will depend on the flow of the book, what we are seeing, the state of the net flow of the ETF, etc. But yeah, probably be a big long, and especially if we sweep and have a bit more confirmation, I'm gonna be even bigger on the retest on the sub wave 2, right? Basically. That idea third into 57k is that we are going into multi-year bull market. Well, I guess I inserted it. So yeah, no, that will for me be raspberries. I think that's pretty close to Chris's idea, right? Because I think that's when you shared me his idea that I threw about it. What does it count here? 1, 2, 1, 2. No, we have it. No, okay, he's looking for another extension. Yeah, anyway, not necessarily gonna follow It's true here, but that made me think about that. And so for me, it would be rather, yeah, less bullish. What else do we have to look at? Bitfinex went back into slight premium, nothing much. We have quite an aggressive DXY here. Seems to be. Don't really want to do a count on that. I'm gonna let it play, but you know, we kind of confirm the reversal here. You know, we keep doing another impulse. It doesn't look like great impulse, but it's still 3 move up to consolidation from the low that have been put in December. So not exactly, but more or less inversely correlated with Bitcoin that printed its high on January. You know, while you have the XY on an uptrend, you're of course cautious on the rest, right? Nonetheless, I'll keep grinding up. So for now, it's positively correlated. It's not necessarily a good thing that they are doing so. I'm still not extremely bullish on stock, especially S&P. You know, this kind of movement, I'm not sure that this is extremely healthy. In fact, I don't think so. Especially everybody expecting, or everybody, not everybody, but market expecting rate cuts, etc. I don't know why they were expecting rate cuts in March. Apparently, they are starting to realize since the last FOMC that there will not be. Nonetheless, like everybody expecting rate cuts to be a bullish event. I mentioned that already. You know, I'm not the most educated on the matter, but there's, you know, Alessio made a clear video on it. It's 5 years old could understand it. Just take a look at the chart, and when there is rate cuts, usually that's when the market reverses, right? So for now, I think the market is rising on the perspective that there are gonna be rate cuts soon. Maybe it's gonna start to slow down. They realize it's not coming so soon. The day it comes, it's not necessarily gonna be a bullish event, you know. But I don't think it's coming in March, so that's give us a bit of room. But in fact, I would rather not see them coming in March, otherwise it's gonna be really, yeah, not a good thing. But the question will be when it comes. What happened to stock and what happened to Bitcoin. But the likelihood so far statistically is that when it's coming, when it actually comes, it's gonna be a reversal point for the market. Where is Bitcoin gonna be at that point? That's the question, right? If it's coming in, I don't know, in the summer, for example, just pulling things out of my ass here. If we actually have the rate cut in summers, maybe Bitcoin will have already printed its subwave 1 and 2 here, and will be on the rise, will be in new all-time high, and you know, maybe that's gonna cause a move down. But if we are high enough, that could be just wave 4, you know. If it's coming too early, yeah, I would be afraid that put more pressure on the downside. So yeah, that's my view. What is Bitcoin doing so far? Still holding here. Okay. The PC seems to be holding better than usual. Okay, I think I fixed the stuff here. It's good because I was not able to get Exo chart with while streaming, but yeah, it seems to be working now. So if you have a laptop like me, I would suggest you deactivate the APU. I'm running just on the discrete GPU, and yeah, the processor is a lot cooler now. So what do we see? You know, the short spilling in, it's rising a bit, and by bit. Yeah, take profit, short spilling a bit. That's it. As it looked like right now on the lower time frame, it looked like an impulse move down. So you know, yeah, I think we have a wave 1 indeed, and that is just an A, and we are in the process of printing a B, and then we'll see a C later on. Yeah, later during the evening, and I think I'm gonna be a buyer at that point, probably. Something a bit more long, because I'm not very much long here. Well, we'll see. It's not a big deal if I miss that move, you know. Don't necessarily need to chase every move. In fact, that's a case to get wrecked. Right, you make great profit, great trades, and then use that to chase. I mean, I did that sometime with you again. But yeah. Golden pocket. What do we have else? Yeah, I took a long on Ethereum. Very much, we'll see. That's also what I did. I did not share a lot. I took some halts long, you know, been a bit more short on Bitcoin and a bit more long on altcoins. Switch its strategy, right? We have the 201 hour that we reclaim and retest. That was pretty solid. In the 4 hour, we are over under. That's expectable. RSI on the 4 hour is, yeah, decent enough here. It's not telling much. Yeah, we can come lower. It's more than 1 hour. Well, yeah, I guess that's it, right? I can just maybe do that. Always most likely take profit around the yearly level. At the lows here, you know, depending of the, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna play it when it comes, because it will depend of what happened. Right? We have the rejection, start to see 5 year, or probably close a lot more at that point, right? Especially in confirmation. I feel like I'm forgetting something I wanted to say, but no. Well, that's probably it. Do you have any question? What was the question, guys? Chat. I've to go. Okay, good. See you, Modi. Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for the likes. If you didn't like the video and you appreciate it, I appreciate the like, the shares, everything. And otherwise, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks again. Have a good evening. Have a great weekend. And take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.